Okay, hi everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining today's episode. Really do appreciate everyone for coming on live, and I really appreciate that we always have opportunities to talk about some of these trending topics and conversations. So today is not going to be different. Today we are going to be taking another wonderful update from IRCC, from Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. And today we want to center our discussion on the news article that came out early today from cicnews.com. And for those who don't know cicnews.com is the Canadian Immigration and Citizenship Canada news website. From there, we get a lot of updates as regards immigration, as regards what you need to know about moving to Canada, what you need to know about the opportunities that are abound in a country like Canada. So today, they stated the article, or they wrote the article, which centered on um, Canada to roll out increased settlement support for Francophone immigrants. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you are part of those that want to come into Canada as French speakers, or you want to come into Canada from the Francophone countries, you stand a chance to get added benefits. You understand, to help you with your relocation, especially if you're coming with family, or if you're even coming alone. Canada can also support you to actually get to some certain communities, to actually reside or relocate to some certain cities. You understand, and start up your life afresh there. So today we want to read the article, and whilst we are reading the article, we'll be discussing about what you need to know, how you can also benefit from the support system that Canada are actually bringing up, and what you need to really adhere to when it comes to you becoming eligible for certain programs that require francophone immigrants. Now, as they said Canada to enroll out increased settlement support for francophone immigrants. Now, who are the Francophone immigrants? As we have said, Francophone immigrants to Canada will soon benefit. These are people that can speak French. These are people that are from French speaking countries. You understand? And the article states that Francophone immigrants to Canada will soon benefit from increased community support in settling. You understand? Settling in Canada. So, what they mean is that you are not just going to be left alone. You understand, when you come into Canada as a francophone immigrant. Rather, you are going to be supported to settle well in the country. And they said over 2025 to 2026, the years 2025 and 2026, Canada's immigration department will operationalize the Welcoming Francophone Communities Initiative. Now, what is the Welcoming Francophone Communities Initiative, the WFC initiative? Now, this initiative will incorporate 24 what, Francophone and Acadian communities across Canada, aiming to facilitate what? To facilitate the settlement and the successful integration of Francophone immigrants into the country. Now, what do we mean by that? Or what do they mean by that when they are talking about incorporating some communities and also facilitating settlement and successful integration? You have to know that when someone is coming to a new country, especially a country like Canada, from francophone countries, especially the francophone countries we know about, like, you understand, Benin Republic, like Togo, like Mali, like where again, like Senegal, like even France. You understand? If you are coming from, or maybe Belgium, if you are coming from places like that, do you understand? You have a certain way of life that you have been used to in your home country, and you are coming to another country that has another way of life. And in order to be able to adapt well to that locality, to be able to adapt well to the country of Canada. Canada has to support you. You understand? They have to be in charge of, or they have to basically help you, you understand, reside well in the country. And that's what they are saying here, that you can actually get supported by not just coming here. You can get supported when you finally land here. Yes, when you are coming here, especially through your application, your visa application, the IRCC would, you understand, support you. They would assist you with the application and everything, and you understand, things like that. But as you are coming in, if for instance they have supported you, they have approved you to come into the country. Now, the WFC, which is the Welcoming Francophones Communities Initiative, there are some certain communities that that initiative will actually support you for, or will support you with. You understand? Like if you are going to a certain community in Canada, those communities have some support systems that would be made available to you. As soon as you get there, you benefit from those in order to help you and your family, do you understand, acclimatize well into what, into the into their own society. So let's look at it. What are these support systems they have been talking about? What are these things that you also should be expecting, you understand, when you are coming to a province, or rather not even a province, a country like Canada? Let's look at them in details. For those that are saying me, look here, I'm actually checking my laptop. You understand? So I'm reading it from my laptop, the article. But you can also go, if you are on YouTube, if you are joining us on YouTube, for instance, you can always go on the link that is on your screen to also read up on this article. For those that are on TikTok or Instagram, no problem. I'll be reading it out to you so that you are well informed about the information you need to know. Do you understand? Now, let's explain what we have today. The WFC, the Welcoming Francophones, WFC initiatives, Welcoming Francophones communities initiatives. They said it would incorporate 24 Francophone and Acadian communities across Canada. And he said Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, announced the upcoming rollout of the WFCs in its departmental plan for 2025 to 2026. Now, you have to understand that Canada has plans. Before they do something, they have planned it out. Now, similarly, these WFCs, it's set to begin as a pilot program which started in 2020, the year 2020, and ended in the year 2024, March 2024. But now they want to really start it right now as a full-fledged program, or as an initiative, as they said. We don't know if it's a full-fledged program yet, but as an initiative to help people from 2025, especially Francophones that are coming into Canada from 2025 to 2026. Now, you may be asking, what is really the Welcoming Francophone Communities Initiative? Let's explain. What do we really need to know about it? They said the WFC's initiative of Canada is a key component of Canada's policy on Francophone immigration. I've explained what Francophone immigration is. Francophone immigration is basically the immigration of French people, Francophone people, French-speaking individuals from their countries or their localities. For instance, I also am considered, if not even Francophone, but I'm considered as a Francophile in Canada. Why am I a Francophile? Because I speak French, I learn French, you understand, and I converse in French language, right? But people that though, even though I'm from a country, I'm from the country of Nigeria, you understand, where of course it is English they speak there. But other countries like Niger, Benin Republic, Togo, Mali, Senegal, if you are coming from those Francophone countries, they have some support system for you. Now, the WFC's initiative's purpose is to aid the reception and the settlement of French-speaking newcomers by encouraging connections, providing settlement support services, and nurturing a sense of belonging for newcomers within their host communities. Now you have to understand what they are saying here. They said it's not only a matter of, oh, people coming from Francophone or people coming from French speaking countries, they are the ones that they are talking to. No, just like they said this, the purpose is to receive people, like to accept French speaking people and the settlement of French speaking newcomers. So whether you are from Nigeria, you are from Ghana, you are from countries, Gambia, countries that don't speak French as an official language. So far, you as an individual, you are speaking French from where you are coming from. Whether you are even in Spanish speaking country, you stand a fair chance of also benefiting from this initiative. Do you understand? So instead of you thinking that it is only for a certain set of people, all you need to bother about is how can you benefit from this support system and what are really inside this support system. They said they will provide some settlement support services and they will help you nurture a sense of belonging, you understand, in your host communities. How would they actually achieve that? Let's look at it in details. They said this initiative uses a buy and for francophones approach. When they say buy and for francophones, they say like the government of democracy, they say government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I mean, right. Now, when it comes to this approach, they said this WFC approach or initiative, it is an initiative by the francophones and for the francophones, right? Okay, Muna Ika one on TikTok is asking which link is the right one for applying for a job. Well, that's a generic question. There are a lot of links that are the right ones for applying for jobs. You understand? And I don't know the location where you want to apply for jobs. You understand? If you are in Nigeria, like my own country, you can go on the Canadian I say Canadian, you can go on the Nigerian company website. Even not even only Nigeria, if you're in Canada, anywhere you are, if you want to apply for a job, for instance, you want to apply for a job in McDonald's, right? You go on the McDonald's website, the official website, and you go and apply for jobs over there, right? So the best, and as you said, the right one for applying, the right link for applying for job, apply for jobs on the company website that you want to work. It is only if they don't have the company website, the second best way is to go into that organization, go into that company if you are very close to their locality, and go and actually try to seek for job there. But if it is a link you are looking for, the best way is the company's website. Go on the company's website you want to apply for once you know the company, and you go and apply for the job over there. I hope you're able to answer that question. All right. Now, moving on. They said the WFC's initiative, the Welcoming Francophone Communities Initiative, uses a buy and for Francophones approach. That means the initiative has been set up by Francophones that are in Canada. And it has been set up for Francophones that are coming into Canada. You understand? Meaning that the members of the Francophone communities have been tasked with the responsibility of identifying and recommending participating communities to the department led by what? The Réseau en Immigration Francophone. What is the réseau? What is the Réseau en Immigration Francophone? That is the Canadian Francophone Immigration Network. And those are the kind of organization, they are the kind of organization that are actually saddled with the responsibility with, you understand, identifying communities that need Francophones and how other people that speak French and are Francophones can actually come into those communities. Now, the WFC, the Welcoming Francophones Communities Initiative, is jointly managed by IRCC, that is Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, number one. Number two, the Francophone and Acadian communities represented by the 13 Réseau en Immigration Francophone, the 13 what? Francophone Immigration Networks, the Fédération des communautés francophones et acadiennes du Canada, which is, of course, the community, the federal community of Francophone and Acadians in Canada. And lastly, the association or Association francophone des municipalités du Nouveau-Brunswick. You understand? Which is the Francophone community or Francophone Municipal Association of New Brunswick, right? Now they said, as with most federally funded settlement services, this program will primarily cater to new immigrants. Now, I always say this thing every time I talk because some people always feel if you shall come into Canada, you're an immigrant. You are not an immigrant in Canada's face until you have something. What do they say? What did they say on this link? What did they say on this article? Is that the program will primarily cater for new immigrants who are what? Permanent residents in Canada. If you are not permanent residents in Canada, you are not the primary people they are focused on. You are not. Though they said that said, due to the joint execution between IRCC and the individual communities, it is possible that Francophone workers and students within the 24 select communities it's not sure, may also be able to benefit from these settlement services. You understand? It is primarily for permanent residents, people that are coming into Canada and telling the federal government of Canada that I am coming here to stay here permanently. It is not for those, or it is not primarily for those who, do you understand? Who are students or workers or even visitors. They didn't even mention visitors, so we can't say it is only for visitors. Now, they said more information on the eligibility is expected to be announced closer to the operational date of the initiative. So they will be giving us more information about who is eligible, who is really eligible for the Welcoming Francophone Communities Initiative. Now, let's look at, they are now telling us which communities will participate in the new iteration of the WFC's initiative. Now, we have been talking about the communities that people can come into, but have we mentioned them or have not? So the WFCs will include the following communities. So if you want to come into Canada, these are the communities that you have to focus on in order to benefit from the what? From the Welcoming Francophones Communities Initiative. And they group them based on their provinces. So from Alberta, if you're in Alberta, if you are going to a province, if you are going to the community of Calgary, you stand a fair chance to get benefits. If you are in British Columbia, Nanaimo is another province, is another city or community you benefit this initiative. Prince George community in British Columbia also has this benefit. If you are in Manitoba, the Red River community, especially communities like Richards, Salaberry, Montcalm, and St. Pierre Joyce, are these province communities you benefit from. If you're also in Manitoba, Seine River region is a place that they would also benefit from this initiative. If you are in New Brunswick or you are moving to New Brunswick, you can move to communities like Bell Bay, including Bathurst and the Pabino First Nation. Also in New Brunswick, Caraquet, including Rivière du Nord et Haute-Terre, are communities that will benefit from this initiative. Also in New Brunswick, Haute-Saint-Jean region is also a community that will benefit, and Restigouge West region, which is St. Quentin and Kedgwick region, will benefit from this. If you are in Newfoundland and Labrador, the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, if you are going to that province, Labrador City, Wabush, is a place that you would also benefit from this initiative. Now, in Nova Scotia, Cheticam, including Saint John du Monde, is a place that you benefit from this initiative. Clare, you benefit from this. Cochrane District, Route 11 corridor, you would also benefit from this. Now, in Ontario, Cochrane District, Route 11 corridor, Cornwall, you benefit from this. Hamilton, you would also benefit from this if you are going to that city. Hawkesbury, you benefit from this. London, you benefit, and Sudbury, you benefit from this. if you are in Prince Edward Island or you are going to Prince Edward Island, Evangeline region is a province, is a city that you benefit from this. In Saskatchewan, Moose Jaw and Gravelbosch, you benefit from this. Prince Albert in Saskatchewan would also benefit from this. Northwest Territories, Yellowknife is a community that will benefit from this. In Yukon, Whitehorse is a community that will benefit from this. And in Nunavut, Iqaluit, immigrants in Iqaluit will benefit from this. Now, you have to note something. In Canada, there is the increasing emphasis on Francophone immigration. You understand? To Canada. Why is that? It's because Canada wants to build its Francophone communities. And in line with building Francophone communities, the Francophone immigration is slated to become an increasingly large population of Canada's overall immigration intake in the coming years. Now, what does that mean for you? That means that the Canada's Francophone immigration strategy aims to increase the percentage of Francophone immigrants welcome to the country outside of Quebec every year from 7% of overall immigration in 2025 to 8% of overall immigration in 2026. In addition to this, the Prime Minister, Mike Carney of Canada, he ran on a platform of increasing the rate of Francophone immigration to Canada, proposing to raise the proportion of Francophone immigration to 12% of Canada total intake by 2029. And what does that mean? At the current immigration levels, this would equate to 47,400 new Francophone immigrants every year. Now, in essence, what are we trying to say? What did the early version of the WFCs look like? Between 2020 and 2024, the WFC's initiative ran as a pilot program, as we said before, funded by IRCC to test community-driven models for integrating French-speaking newcomers outside Quebec. Now, if you look at it, with what they said the pilot supported 14 instead of 24. Now they added 10 extra communities that benefit from it this year. But before, it was 14 designated minority Francophone communities across Canada, and each of which received federal funding via contribution agreements. And each community received hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding towards initiatives outlined by communities to aid the integration of Francophone newcomers. Now, what does this mean? This means that local Francophone organizations, municipalities, employers, and settlement agencies formed community advisory boards to design and deliver tailored action plans. And these action plans typically included, number one, French language settlement services. Number two, cultural orientation and networking events. Number three, support for employment integration. Number four, public awareness campaigns to promote inclusivity. And number five, capacity building for local service providers. Now, let's break that down. That is a lot of grammar. Let me break that down to the layman. What they mean by the support system that they are providing for Francophones is that, firstly, if you are a Francophone and maybe, for instance, you know French language to the level B1 or B2, these organizations can provide you with language classes, free most times, free language classes to help you learn more of the language when you finally enter the country, either as a permanent resident or if you are still here as a worker or student. Number two, they would also provide networking events where you can come and meet other Francophone and French speakers like you. You interact with them, you understand, learn about how the province is, the city is, the community, what you need to know about Canada, settling in Canada. You understand? They would even also support you to work on your job search. Do you understand? So, for instance, if you lack jobs as a Francophone, as a French speaker, you can easily get connected through some of even these events to employers that could help you search for jobs, or that could actually employ you to their own facilities to work as a Francophone. Also, they were creating campaigns, you understand, telling people or letting people know that there are now French people around that could actually assist. Maybe, for instance, if people that are living in the province already need help learning French, those Francophones can also teach them French. So it can even help in building local service providers in such a way that, oh, now someone that is from a Francophone country settling in Canada that can speak French can actually set up his or her own business. I remember when I came into Canada, even though I didn't benefit from the WFC's, you understand, initiative, I set up my own provincial business in the province of Ontario. A.O.S abroad. And A.O.S abroad now is now teaching people, you understand, is now in charge of trainings, language trainings, career trainings, helping people not just only even learn language, but also learn language, you understand, prepare to actually get employed and to even set up businesses, because that's what I do. That's what I know how to do. Now I'm even helping people. Immigrants also set up businesses. Do you understand? So the pilot last time was tested, you understand? It tested this by and for Francophone initiative, the Francophone model, to strengthen local capacity and to also demonstrate what makes a community truly welcoming for French speaking newcomers. So the results and the best practices from the pilots informed federal policy, leading to the renewal and the expansion of the program in the year 2024. So in essence, what are we trying to say? What we are trying to say is, if you are a French speaker, or again, if you can become a French speaker, you can benefit from these opportunities. And let me tell you, for a fact, one of the easiest ways to get jobs in Canada is to have the language skills, the both language skills, the English and the French. It is easier for you to access public jobs, which are jobs from the government of Canada if you're a permanent resident. It is easier for you to access even private firms, jobs in the private firms. You understand? Working as a customer service, working as a web development strategist. You understand? Working in a lot of industries because you can communicate in the both official languages of Canada. So this is where again we come in as a language school. Anywhere you are in the world, as an online language school, we can prepare you, we can teach you the French language, we can prepare you for the French examinations, and we can also help you to get access to some of these WFC's initiatives by, you understand, focusing on the communities that are currently looking for Francophone immigrants to actually support whilst they come into Canada as permanent residents. So if you want us to actually help you, can go on our website, aosacademy.com. If you go on aosacademy.com, you can always see our online courses, our training packages, you understand, and you can actually get started with learning French and also preparing for French examinations, international examinations that you would use to come to Canada, you understand, like TEF Canada, like TCF Canada, like DELF, like DAF, and all other examinations, you understand, like that. So if you have any questions, drop it on the comment section. If you don't, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Try to also follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. And don't forget, at least every week we come on live, at least once a week, to talk about trending topics, news articles, and information that can be of assistance to our community. So if you want to always get abreast to on all the current issues about Canada immigration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to reach out to us even after this live session, don't forget as well to also go on our bio, go on our profile, and click on the link that is there. Once you click on the link that is there, you'll be able to access and also reach out to us directly on our, you understand, website and our online school. So thank you very much. I don't take this for granted. Don't forget, every week we come on live at least once. So we have come on live today, we can come on live another day. Don't forget to always join us subsequently. And if you have any questions, even after this live session, drop it on the comment section, you understand, or as I said, reach out to us through our website. So thank you very much, everyone, and I do hope you have a nice day ahead. Bye for now. Au revoir.